For most of his life, Darren has been passionate about comic books and illustration. This passion led to him becoming a comic book illustrator in Montreal and making a living doing what he loves.
It was just a passion for me, and it kept me busy, it kept me out of trouble. And it was the one sort of credit I'll give myself is that I've always been a really creative person, you know, with the drawing and the magic and the music, and just my lifestyle has always thrived on creativity. And you know, like when I went to school, I studied visual arts, I studied philosophy, I studied English, and these are never things that pay dividends in the end. But you have to sort of do it for the passion. And I remember, like now I'm 36, but I remember when I was 17 and I was just thinking about going to college, I had it firmly set in my head that if every job in the world paid the same wage, what would you do? And so I just kind of went with the drawing, and then the magic came a lot later. And you know, like I said, now I'm 36 and I'm still doing stuff for no money. But as a commercial artist, what's great about that is nobody cares what your degree is or where you studied, or nobody cares. It's all about the amount of quality work you can produce and how fast you can do it, and how good it is. I may not be like the best comic book illustrator, but I can work at a pretty good clip, and that's been one of my strengths. Like I can generally do like maybe 2-3 pages in a day if I really apply myself. The industry standard is about 1 page. I think about comic books and I think immediately you have an unlimited special effects budget. If you can think it, you can draw it. You don't have to cast anybody for a certain role. If you want to look for a particular role, then you draw them that way. And the story can be absolutely anything you want. Whereas you can have any 10-year-old, and if he has a wooden pencil and a piece of paper, he can draw the most ridiculously far out radical story that you want, because it's limited only to that person's imagination. I just hope that there's more people out there that get exposed to this really, really unique and beautiful and wonderful art form that guys like me are trying my absolute hardest to be able to do. You know, I mean, I'm not there yet. I'm not working at Marvel Comics. I'm not working at DC Comics. But, you know, I've showed my stuff around. I've gotten a few offers here and there. And when I was in Montreal, I was working for some pretty big name companies. And unfortunately, I lost everything in a fire that I had in Montreal.
Since his return to Sault Ste. Marie, Darren has had to restart his portfolio and has since started producing his own comics, which can be found at the Rad Zone.
You know, for me, I write them, I do the drawing, and then I lay down the inks. I go to the photocopier store, I photocopy them, I staple them together, and I hand deliver to wherever anyone that buys it. It's the strength of that book is going to rest on one person's shoulders only, and if it fails, I don't have anyone else to blame. But this is sort of like an example of what I'm doing now. All these little areas that are fully shaded in, normally what I do is I just put little X's there and just move on fast. And then when I go back and I ink it, I'll know that wherever there's an X, that has to be filled in solid black, so it saves a lot of time. But because now I'm working without an editor and without a writer, and therefore I'm working without a deadline, I get to take advantage of, I can really work the pencils a lot tighter than I would normally do. So you saw the pencils. This is what it looks like inked. With the writing I did myself. Now I'll probably use a computer because writing's not my strong suit. And then that's how it prints. And that's really what I want to push about comic books more than anything else, is that for anybody that's out there thinking, oh, comic books, cool, so you must draw Archie and Snoopy and stuff. Well, no, like I'm putting stuff out there that really wants to break that stigma that a comic books has. I'm putting like as much intelligence and as much effort as any other art form.
So the next time you're reading a comic book, consider the hard work and creativity that goes into every single square. Also, be sure to tune in next time when Darren takes us further into the production process. Reporting for Shaw TV, I'm Christian LeMay.